Hello and welcome everyone back to the Dumbass class with me, the Dyslexic Gamer. Also, the little icon things aren't working at the moment. Hopefully that will start. Oh yeah, it works for Geddy slapping his meat. Didn't work for me though, and it's still not working. So yeah,
Still
maybe I
not
need
working?
to. No, it's still not working for me. I might have to slap my meat.
I am.
But there we go. So in the last episode, our group of adventurers had gone on a journey west towards the Sky Tower when they uncovered an area on the map that looked very suspicious. So they investigated and they found what was an old battle site where it was almost like a artificial valley had been scored into the ground with large mounds within the valley. Bit of investigating found that some of these larger mounds were actually vehicles that had been covered over by dirt and reclaimed by nature. So, with some diggy of their labourers, they uncovered a few cool items, a few wrecked vehicles that may or may not be salvageable later on, and they spent the whole day essentially at this site trying to find cool loot. Well, they did make quite a lot of noise, and fortunately, two of their companions were left to be on scouting duty, and they performed their job rather admirably, as they did indeed hear noises. The group has been alerted to noises coming from the south, and they have a choice now. You can stand and fight, or you can flee. You have been here for the whole day, so you would be fleeing into the night, and there's no guarantees that you won't be followed. But you do have two choices. Which one would you like to go for? Flee or fight?
uh, I I think we need to flee. I think we just need to keep moving. Plus, we have the servitors are well rested enough just to keep moving.
I agree.
Unless you guys want to stand and fight anything.
You do have time if you want to fight. You can set up on the map and wait for the enemy to arrive, as they're not on top of you at the moment.
What does it sound like? What's the most immediate sound? Is it like hooves? Is it like just trampling of feet? Is it track? Is it
It definitely sounds as if it is more marching kind of footfalls, grunting, muffled shouts, rather than tracked vehicles or vehicles in general. Muttermouth could definitely tell you it's not like the sound of a herd moving through. Definitely sounds more like individuals rather than animals.
I would say is possibly fucking the feral guardsman, but maybe not at the same time.
I can always mount them and see who they are before we start fleeing.
We could be very close to settlements too that we don't know of. It could be a lot of things.
I mean, we're 1 day's travel from Sky Tower, so we can make it there tonight, basically, right?
Please discuss amongst yourselves for a moment.
You gotta go poop. You gotta go poop.
You go poop.
Fuck, I don't know, man. We could probably honestly stay and fight, but especially with a prepared position. But is it worth it?
if we secure this position, we could technically even use the Rex. We could, but we have no idea how many of them are there.
We could potentially theoretically just hide amongst the wrecks, ambush that way.
We could.
I think it might be the smartest to just go.
I don't think it's a good idea. Yeah, I don't believe it. The problem of staying and fighting is we have no idea how many people are coming. So.
It's apparently a large enough group to make a racket.
Well, considering the footsteps, might be a smart idea to just mount up, see what they are, and if they are friendly, you can stay. If they are hostile, we can bolt. Could be the Ecclesiarchy. They have men at arms.
Could be the Ecclesiarchy, honestly, or what's left of it.
I have returned.
Welcome back, pooping.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Do we have binoculars at this point?
We do. You just found some, actually.
That's right.
Yes.
If we could get a high enough position where I could scout a little bit, then I'd be more comfortable.
Is there any like wooded positions near us, or is it all just plains where the battle took place?
Yeah, it's basically all plains, and you're currently in a valley. With obviously there are bumps and lumps all over the valley where there are things underground. You could technically get on one of the bumps and lumps and try and see what's coming towards you.
If we want to send someone who's a little bit sneaky and actually good at awareness to do that.
I got awareness, I'm just not sneaky.
Hold on, let me check my stealth. Silent move. I have one Pippin silent move, and I think there's also a stealth, isn't there?
No. There's silent move, there's shadowing, there's
Concealment.
Concealment.
Yeah, I have both.
Nothing in.
I have both concealment and silent move at a trained level, so I'd be rolling 43. I mean, it's technically nighttime, right?
No. It's dusk. The sun is going down. If you do try to flee, you will be fleeing into the night. So by the time you get away from here, the sun will be setting. You got like half an hour, maybe, of sun.
Okay.
Technically, where you're in a valley, it will be getting an artificial valley. It will get a bit darker sooner, but only a little bit.
Nah, fuck it. I think we just mind up and go.
Yep, let's do that.
And we wait for. Will we wait till we have visual, or will we both?
Nope, just mind up and go.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Because if they have ranged weapons, they can sort of fight at distance, even though we are moving faster than them. And if they are something that, if they don't know where the Sky Tower or anything is, we don't exactly want to lead them directly there, unless they're following our tracks or whatever else. But
that is a good question. Is the direction they're coming from the Sky Towers direction, or is it a different direction?
Oh yeah,
South.
From south.
Yeah, coming from the south.
I say mount up and get the fuck out.
Can we see the Sky Tower from here, or is it?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
We can see the tip.
Jesus, I'll be coming in loud again.
Just a tip.
Yes, jet dip. Perfect.
There we go. All right, let's mount up and just go. I'll get them into the. I get everyone in mounted onto either into or onto the Torox, and we make sure all the goodies are secured inside. Here, Cray, play with these tools. Get in the fucking Torox.
Okay, so you are going to abandon the ooh, that's weird. You're going to abandon the scavenging, and you're going to leave. I will add on a further note. Obviously, anyone who searches this area will see that there are areas that have been dug up and discovered. So,
Oh yeah.
just as a reminder, so you've basically got like half an hour before you have to travel in darkness or turn on the lights. Obviously, the lights will give you away. Where do you want to move to? You can move 1 square before darkness hits in. So do you want to move north? Obviously not south, but east or west?
Let's go south. Fuck it.
I think we go northwest.
Yep, I agree.
Sure. That's now. If I put that on the map player, is the name going to stay? Nope, not going to stay. Oh well, we know that that's the battle site. Okay, so you mount up your 2 laborers and Muttermouth and Thomas, and you book it out of there. Half an hour goes by. The sun has set. You can hear the sounds of metal down south and jeering.
Jeering.
Yeah. Yeah. And ding, 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 smash, 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 you know.
All right.
So now what would you like to do? Because technically you're moving at night. Again, you can put your lights on to save yourself from damaging your vehicle. Technically, you can move in the darkness, but you are in a more hilly-ish area as you've moved on to hills.
Yeah.
Or you can actually make camp here. It's entirely up to you.
Let's try and like. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. Can we dismount 2 people? We stay at the front of the vehicle and we walk and we make sure the thing is
Then you're
clear.
going at
the
walking
vehicles.
speed.
Yeah.
But that way we could move at least 1 more square before we camp. That's what I was thinking. What do you guys think?
Yeah, without turning the lights on, we can actually move the walking speed 1 more square away from it. So maybe up this direction, further into the hills, or maybe try and use one of the hills as a vantage point to try and see what the fuck they're doing down here. See if they're just dicking around or something. What do you think?
That sounds good to me.
Take a quick break to see what's up or down.
Just subtly tell us to go this way.
No, I was just trying to work out how long it's going to take you to go at walking speed, 1 square.
I think it's like
It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours, something along those lines.
So we use some of the hills by the river, and either camp out on it, use it as a vantage point, or just set off from there. We're probably far enough away. We're probably could outpace them anyway. So
Yeah, you can only move 4 squares in a day.
yeah,
So,
well, walking, yeah, but
well, yeah,
fucking
I did say that you didn't hear tracks or vehicles, so whoever
yeah.
was following you is moving on foot. They can only move so far, you know.
Okay, so yeah, let's do the pop out. 2 people walking ahead. We'll walking pace up 1. We'll try and do a little bit of recon if possible. If not, no worries. We can just if the recon's not possible, we can head out from here. If not, we just camp down for the night.
Sure.
What do we-
So as you move up 1 square north, again you've moved into a hilly area. It's the servitor car is still perfectly able to get over these hills. They're not anything too steep that would prevent you from driving up them. There are some which are far steeper than others, but I'm guessing you would avoid those ones. So you move off into the night. If anyone has night vision, night sight, or infrared goggles, or things that help you see in the dark, then you could scout or do recon behind you, looking around. If not, yeah, your vision will be significantly diminished. But you could set up camp and rest. Another option.
I don't have night vision or night sight. I don't think Thomas or Mothermouth have it either, or do the servitors.
No, the servitors don't, and
You-
neither do the others.
In the case, yeah, no. I will try to look.
very sensitive. Holy shit! I can hear you clacking.
I will try to look southwards, and if I see any bright thing, I'll try to check it with the binoculars. But otherwise, yeah.
You could at least check for fires to see if they're brave enough to be setting fires at night.
So you are looking back south to see if you can see any lights or any fires. Okay. As you look down south, you don't see any lights, but you do hear the occasional thwack of metal. Something metal being hit.
I'll try to roll. I don't think I'm gonna see it.
But that doesn't go throughout the entire night. Just whilst you're looking down.
I rolled a 3.
Should have probably saved that for shooting someone, because you're 24 mile, you're 16 miles away from where they were, so you ain't seeing shit.
I mean, yeah, but you said we heard a twang, so.
Well, yeah, but you heard banging metal and jeering when you left there. So, for OCC, they're looting the shit that you left behind. They're like, oh, someone's done some digging. Let's investigate. Oh, look, there's metal things. Bang, bang. Oh, look, there's, yeah.
Metal shit.
Fair.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, fair enough. Fuck it. Smack the lights on. Let's just fucking book it as far as we can for the rest of the night.
So you're not planning on sleeping then?
Nah, we've been able to rest in all a little while anyway, so. So it should be morning-ish, not morning-ish. Sorry, dawn-ish soon. By the time we get around to where the Sky Tower is, right?
So technically, I didn't really anticipate mixing the movement speeds up. So if you go two more squares. Okay, so essentially you put the lights on, you move down from your position, you reach a river. It's not a particularly vast river, and it's not. There are deep patches, so it takes you a bit of time. Probably have to move over at least another square before you find a ford that you can cross. There would be fords you would be able to cross. It's not, not like whitewater rapids or anything like that. So you could cross. So by the time you get 2 squares from your current position, you would be close to dawn.
Okay.
If you wait for the sun to rise, you would have a sun rises in the east and it sets in the west, and the east is coming up. So yeah, you would have the sun at your backs. As the sun rises, you can see. So it starts off lower at the ground. There's a brown ring that there's kind of a small brown ring that you can just make out just above the ground, and then there's smoke that comes out around what you imagine is inside this brown ring, and then behind the brown ring there's this almost ivory white creamy stone, which again you'd quite easily imagine must be a much bigger wall. It's at least 3 to 4 times the size of the small brown wall that's below it. And then in the center is this huge tower, the top of which is what you could see in the distance, and you could just make out the glinting of mosaic windows, not mosaic windows, stained glass windows.
Right. Mosaic and stained glass are both basically the same.
Twinkling in the light, and now that you are closer, you can see again this proto-Gothic design. It's very, for understanding of us, not in the game, it's very fairy tale-esque, high fantasy architecture.
Okay.
Okay, my phone may beep a few times, but never mind. Don't fall off. And yeah, you can see smoke coming up from around the outside, but it's Heinrich, have you been on a feudal world in your life? You kind of avoid the dirt. as much as possible.
I've probably. It's quite possible he's traded with a feudal world that's been in the system, but probably not like to a massive degree.
Okay, so maybe you've seen some paintings in some halls, vast halls, and it shows like an idyllic, little settlement with smoke coming up from chimneys. That's kind of the smoke that you're seeing. It's not industrial smoke, what Cray might be used to seeing. This is definitely more habitat smoke from a decently sized village stroke town.
Okay.
Oh, also, you all have one fatigue, as you haven't slept. It is now day 110, so can you remove rations for the 8 of you?
I did see this last time. I met my own. And then the day's worth of work.
Also, the poor Izmirians are clinging onto the roof. The vehicle wasn't
Yes.
really designed for so many, so they're kind of just like in awe and shock and like, what's going on? What is this?
They're probably having the time of their lives. I mean, come on, they're inbreds. I
Wow.
have never seen stuff like this.
You never seen redneck Hicks? They love like hanging on to roofs and going, "Where doggy?"
Precisely.
They're kind of more sheltered than that. They haven't left their area except for occasionally with you guys to go pick ploins. It's like they're like
Not really my choice.
they're like halflings. They haven't left the Shire. This is all very new to them and all very strange.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
So what would you like to do as it is sunrise? You all have one fatigue.
I know this is going to be cheeky, but as soon as we stop, I'm going to meditate.
So you can only meditate when in a comfortable, like you can't meditate in the car on the move. You're in a cramped vehicle being being jutted around. So you actually have to get out of the vehicle and sit in an area where you have space around you.
I know. I also have to do a willpower plus 10 test to see if I lose the fatigue, but that's only if we stop the vehicle for any amount of time.
Yeah, I think if we're going to do anything, I think we approach at least a little bit slowly, so don't go fucking. It's just full speeder. And
Ram the walls.
ram the wall kind of shit. Let's hit this fucking side of the building with the force of a first generation ICBM and shit. Like, do they have like an outer settlement, or is it all like one big walled shit, or is it just one big tower, or what can we see from here?
You are
Or
a little
do we
bit
get
too
closer?
far away to properly see. You can tell that there's obviously 2 walls. What looks, as best as you can tell, a wooden wall and then a stone wall.
Okay, let's approach slowly again, and wait until we are within more sight. We'll not like be driving at full tilt, so like we appear to be a threat, but at least like approaching slow enough that we could possibly pass as a very fancy cart. No, faster than that, but still.
Vehicle has one speed only. So you drive over to the sky tower.
Yes.
Okay. So
On the approach, I wish to actually roll an awareness to actually as we get closer and closer to take in more details.
sure, by all means, you can. As you
Jesus
get
Christ.
closer and closer, you're brought over to the map.
Ooh, fucking hell. That's a huge bitch.
I know the settlement.
No, you don't.
Zimbabwe.
Liar. I've never used this map before.
Oh damn! Oh, I can't do that anymore in this fucking update.
What can you do?
As you get closer, you can see that there is a made road, but it comes out onto nothing. It just starts with a made
Earthen
road.
path.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. Oh God, load up, load. Okay, right. I'm just gonna grab those two, and those two will do. I now need to copy over all of this. Come down here. So yes, as you get closer, you do notice that there's actually more to the settlement than what you could first see. You are going to be massive. Yeah. Fucking huge, bitch. As you get closer to the settlement,
Is this a city for ants?
you find that there is more outside of the wall that you couldn't see from a distance. It appears as if there are graves set up. You get closer.
Holy shit, we're huge.
Yeah, you are gigantic. Yeah, you are. You
oh
are
my fucking God.
like
You're
humongous.
fucking massive. Oh my God, we've actually stumbled across the actual Shire. The entirety of the ecclesiarchy that came to this world. We're from fucking Rin's world.
And we'll try to.
They're all fucking ratlings.
They're a little bit, kind of, bit better to scale. Yeah, so as you get closer, you do find that there is actually buildings outside. However, the closer you get, they appear to be a graveyard. There is
Fucking hell, this is a huge graveyard.
Quite the large graveyard. However, Heinrich, as you did an awareness test, as you got closer, you were able to see that you have already been noticed.
Oh yeah, I figured as much. I'm not the stealthiest fucking thing in the world.
As a group are approaching. Just stick on the outside. There we go. That'll do. You can get on the front. It'll be like the bonnet mount. Go.
This is a former Tauros, right?
Yes.
Or Taurox.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I actually pop out of the commander's cupola? Like undo the hatch and like pop my head out and wave.
You're not actually in a Taurox. You're in a vehicle. It's kind of. But yeah, sure, why not? You go through the sunroof. Why not? You go through the sunroof.
You've described it basically as a kind of cut down Taurox.
Yeah, it kind of is.
So
yeah.
there's kind of there's like no like engine block or anything anymore. It's been replaced by the actual servitors itself. But there's at least like a driving cupola, and like above that there's like the commander's cupola. I keep saying cupola. It's not cupola.
Yeah, kind of. Hang on, that was the wrong person. Just quickly inhabit the.
This is where I get racially discriminated against and shot immediately.
I'm gonna have to quickly add in some NPCs to the area.
Women.
There are women, yes. In fact, there are vast amounts of women in this place, for reasons that you will soon find out.
I mean, if the sororitas, I can understand if the women became a warrior class. So we are facing citizens or like mini civilizations that are descended from the Imperium over hundreds, thousands of years. Right?
Yeah, kind of. Hundreds, thousands. decades, yet to be disclosed. So God
I've only
damn
been
it,
here like 5 days.
now, now all of them are too big. Fuck's sake. Increase your size a bit. Let's try and get you on an even.
Oh my god,
footing.
it's Festus.
There we go. Yeah, they're roughly you're all roughly the same size. So, as a should be another one of them at the front. Okay. So, as your vehicle approaches, you've gone a little bit slower. The wooden gates open up, and a number of individuals come out. One of them holds a device in his hand, which no, fuck it, you wouldn't know. And as Heinrich pops his head up, he would take of note that the one in the middle is indeed ecclesiastical preacher. He holds as his the staff of office isn't really the right word. The page would load up. There we go. The page is loaded. He holds. Oh God! Come on, combat page. Here we go. He holds in his hand a Bastilama hammer. It is a So it appears at the moment as if it is a two-handed hammer with a large. The hammer itself is made into the Aquila. Only on where the point of the wings are is a flat hammerhead, basically. But the Aquila is symbolized onto the sides of the hammer. He holds it as if it is a two-handed weapon or a staff, but the hammer head or the mace head doesn't appear to be large enough for such a long weapon. He's holding it at the moment like a staff, like a appointment of his office, and he walks with it, and the Aquila is above his head. He does see you, Heinrich. He makes his way closer.
I will make the sign of the Aquila as we approach before actually giving them a wave would probably be best to introduce that I have no weapon. Or us. I'll do it like the sign of the Aquila and then the equivalent of like a salute, so they are aware that, well, traditionally the salute is there to show I have no weapon. So
yes, because it is actually a two-handed thing to make the sign of the Aquila.
Yeah.
So from atop your servitor moving vehicle, you make the sign of the Aquila, and the preacher turns to the two individuals either side of him. They look, I know their tokens showed them as women, but they actually look as if they are Templar knights or temple knights. They are in scale mail with helms and tower shields. They have large swords. Heinrich, you are a melee fighter, aren't you? You are a duelist. So yeah, you probably would have seen very similar swords to this. It is a bastard sword or a long sword. It is a one or two-handed weapon. Yes. And the guards had one hand upon the pommel and one hand holding up their shields. the creature turns to either side, and you would see that the shields are lowered slightly and their hands come off of their weapons. The individual at the front, whilst the preacher is moving, moves towards you. She removes her helm and greets you. Greetings. I am Templar Sister Eresnus. By what do we owe the pleasure of your arrival here? And what are they? She points to the vehicle.
The servitors?
You say, what, the servitors?
No. I'm asking, is she pointing at the servitors or just the vehicle in general?
You're not sure if it's the inbred or the servitors.
Yeah. Okay. If I'm not 100% sure, I'll not say just yet. I will actually let out a little bit of a hearty chuckle. And was it Templar Sister or Sister Templar? Sorry.
Templar Sister.
Templar Sister Eresnus. You have perhaps no idea how glad I am to hear someone speak the Emperor's language. And I am putting on the most posh accent I can as I do that. At least as close to my original accent as possible. I am Heinrich Theobald Javed III. I am a castaway upon this world. This is what is left of my new-ish retinue. And we have come here for some solace in the Emperor's life. Now, I do wish to specify, do you mean the, I point down towards the servitors, or do you mean these scruffy gentlemen? And I pat one of the inbreds on the shoulder.
She gives the servitor a disdaining look, but glares at the inbred. No, that thing on your vehicle, is it human?
Surprisingly, just about. But loyal enough that I would not doubt it.
Is it of this world?
It is. It reminds me of an Ogren, honestly. But smaller.
She takes her sword hand and she grasps one of her shoulders, and you can see her quiver ever so slightly. By the grace of our Lord, what's become of our... Your name was Heinrich. You are of the Imperial Creed. How is it that you are here? Sister! Sister, I heard what he said. By the Emperor's grace! He twacks the inbred off the vehicle with his staff. He climbs upon the top of the vehicle.
I am giving Cooney a very sharp kick, like a quick mention of put your fucking hood on.
And he gets to the cupola and he kneels down and embraces your face, Heinrich, and looks deeply into your eyes. Our prayers have been answered. The Emperor! He turns round to the settlement. The Emperor has heard our pleas! Help has arrived! It's not a massive cheer from the guards on the battlements. However, a number of of individuals who are bare-chested. They have tattoos marking the Imperial Creed, start flooding out of the settlement. They're not inbred. They are perfectly normal humans, but they are fanatics.
Yeah.
Of the highest order.
The guy that just grabbed my face, he is clearly a priest, right?
Yes, he has the
Okay.
robes. He has everything denoting a high status of within the ecclesiarchy.
I'm gonna put one hand to one of the hands he has on my cheeks, and the other hand like pat his chest, and like whisper kind of to him like, no, come, settle yourself a little bit more. Surely the Emperor wants you to show some restraint amongst your flock.
He turns back to you and literal tears are running down his face. You have no idea, dear Heinrich, what we have been through these past 29 years of... we have lost so much and gained so little, bringing the Emperor's light to these heathens after losing so many of our cherished brothers and sisters. It has been my duty to bring the light to them, and yet I feel I have failed in many ways. They only now truly believe the Emperor has come for their salvation. He kisses your ring finger. You would imagine he would have kissed the ring on your finger if you had one. Your ship, is it grand? Does it hold the Emperor's might? Can it bring righteous fury to the... He notices the furry ones within your vehicle. He falls backwards and almost rolls off the vehicle. You have the heathens with you.
Okay, I'm climbing out this time, and I'm actually going to walk down the bonnet.
I go stand in the cupola's position.
Yes, please, just fucking block that shit.
I'm going to look back at Buttermouth and Thomas and say, "See, they think we be heathens."
Now, settle down. Listen,
They brought the doom. They are the betrayers that lost us so much. How is it that you have them with you? How did the God Emperor allow them to this most sanctified and holy place?
They would not be here if I did not take them. We would not be here if they would not help us. The Emperor is working in a very mysterious way, preacher. They are... It's a very strange world, I will not lie. One of the strangest I have seen. I will not pretend to know all the secrets, but trust me when I say these are not what you think they are, at least for now.
So, Heinrich, as you're out of the vehicle and you're next to the preacher, you take more note of his robes are magnificent. They are covered in iconography of the administorum. They have purity seals on them, gold inlay of prayers devoted to the God Emperor. These are quite fancy. can I get a fellowship roll from you, or rather a charm roll?
Charm. Any bonuses or negative?
Any bonuses that your skills or character can add.
See, fucking hell. Oh, that's a good point. What is that? Hang on. Oh no, hang on. I don't have my fucking warrant because it's with my ship. No, the only thing I have is exceptional leer, but that's not for me. Air of authority, I can technically if they count as allies, but I don't think they do right now. Well, maybe he does.
He technically does, because you were both of the Imperium.
No, it's still not going to apply because it only affects allies after a test. So it can affect more allies, but not like. Okay. Emerald Charm as is. I am fucking re-rolling because it's my highest fucking stat. Fuck you, game. There we go.
There you go. A 2. A 2.
That was a 2.
That is a lot better. Holy shit.
No. If I wasn't fatigued, that'd be 1 degree more, by the way.
Holy shit.
Like I'm coming out and I am looking tired, but at least I'm holding my standing. I am enunciating properly. I am barking at him with the proper authoritative tone.
Aresna helps the preacher up, as you do as well, I imagine, Heinrich. As your
100%. Like as soon as I get out, the first thing I do is try to fucking grab his hand, trying to lift him up.
As you're charming him, lifting him up, the shield sister also helps, and he perhaps you do not know. Perhaps you have been bewitched or beguiled by their ways, as the previous rogue trader was, and alas, our former I forgot the name of the high priest. Yeah, as our former high priest, high ecclesiarchal emissary.
High ecclesiarch. That's a good litany for him.
I picked a shitty name that I can't really say, okay, so it's going to change a few times.
Arceus. Arceus? Arceus?
Jesus.
Arceus.
Jesus.
Arceus.
Eresis.
Erasmus.
Eresis.
Erasmus actually works.
Erasmus.
Ares being god of war, and Nus being Snusta. Wench. God damn it, Almy.
As he stands up, and I should not expect you to be aware of their devious ways, and he looks at the Ismerian, who's looking really fucking shocked. He's just been knocked to the ground, and
yeah, I'm after he's been helped up, I'm making sure that the Ismerian has been helped up, and I will make a point of it to show that this is my retinue. I will care for them.
You have found unclean ones. He kind of puts his hand out. May the Emperor bless your twisted hide. Now be gone away from me. He kind of gestures for the Ismerian to move away, and Aresnus kind of moves him over to one side once he's been raised up. God, she's fucking big. God,
Fucking huge.
She's huge.
I do have to ask: is she a big mummy, or she just is just the thingy?
No, it's just the tokens. It's just the tokens. I made you all smaller to make it more size friendly, but they're large. Because otherwise they're it's tiny little tokens, and then I've got to change every token, and they are normal size. They're not mammoth.
You could put everybody to be just tiny size, and we could.
Yeah, but that means I have to change every single token every time I take them out, and I can't be fucked. I'm lazy. But now they are they are big people. Well, forgive me, Heinrich. You appear tired, and you are of the creed, so hospitality must be made abundant. He jams his staff onto the ground, accidentally hitting another button, which shrinks it in size, and the staff becomes a one-handed weapon. He looks around and jams it again, and it becomes large. Shield sisters, bring our guests in. Watch the deviants and the unclean ones, but show them hospitality. Heinrich, he comes back over to you. They are of the creed. They are of the creed, are they not? You have enlightened them on the Emperor's grace.
We have, of course. Listen, I'm sorry. I go to say like confessor, but I'm trying to like find out what kind of like rank he holds, or like would I be able to tell from like the kind of robes he's wearing, or like what would my assumption be by looking at those robes, like priests, a confessor, ecclesiarch kind of thing?
Yeah, ecclesiarch would work well for his robes.
So
yeah.
like my esteemed ecclesiarch, if you will grant me a moment, I must confess, I make no secret of it. I am a rogue trader, and I am of the faith, of course. However, I still have writs in my standing, and that does allow me to have some independence. If you do recall, I would promise I am not that of the old rogue trader that you may have known. I do not know what happened with him or her or whoever, but I promise you that those I bring with me, I can swear by. And while I point at maybe the furry, the tech priest, and the inbred, they are all not all as terrifying, but you understand, don't you?
He holds his. By the way, he's not actually that old.
Okay.
He's probably in his 40s. He was.
I think I'm older than
he was a teen when he came to this world. Think of that as you may. Yeah, well, he wasn't the head ecclesiarch. He looks and he takes a. He's not clean shaven. He has a 12 o'clock shadow, and he brushes his hands across that, and nods. And yes, the rogue traders are a breed amongst themselves within the Imperium. Of course, you have an air of freedom in how you conduct your business, and of those you keep in your retinue. And this world is trying a few allies that can be called upon. They will be watched. We cannot allow the unclean and the deviant to walk freely, but If you are of the faith and give your word, Heinrich, we can allow it.
I give a nod, and I'm going to bring up that I bring no one that I know will bring harm to anyone. I just ask for your word that they will not be accosted at every moment. While they will be watched, I will be in their company at all times. And I will personally ensure their cooperation no matter what.
Very
Do
well.
I have and I will outstretch a hand as you know the old sign of agreement.
He takes your hand with two hands and shakes vehemently, and is I will trust in another son of the Emperor that our accord is truthful and honest, Heinrich. For now, you may enter the first wall. You'll be seen to, and I will speak to the second wall's defenders, and we will prepare things for a. He kind of takes a moment and breathes kind of oddly, to prepare. It has been long since we have had a guest of such esteem. It's been long since we've had guests, but one of such esteem as yourself. Yes, I must prepare myself. He caresses his robes and smooths out some of the creases that appeared after he rolled off the car.
I smile and I nod, of course, and I will straight up just turn to Resnus and may I speak with you a moment before we carry on further, or will you need to accompany the PCR?
No, I will be here.
Excellent. I just need to speak with you a moment.
Ecclesiarch, would you take your followers and prepare yourself? They are looking rather displeased. Heinrich, as you look upon the crowd of devotees who were on their knees praying to the Emperor when they heard about deviants and unclean, they have stood up already, and they're kind of breathing heavily, as if rabid dogs on a leash about to be let off. Yes, sister. I will speak to the congregation. You're not my followers. You're the congregation. Gives her a disdaining look as he turns round and begins talking to his followers. They are his followers.
I will request we don't stand at the side of the fucking car anymore. Can we walk around the front where there's a bit more room?
And he will lead his people through the first gate and up to the second gate, where his followers will be protecting the entrance, and he will enter the temple. A number of other individuals are stood outside. They are men. They are decently well dressed, very medieval looking. They do appear to have weapons on their persons, but not actually in their hands. And they take note of you all, but then they return to whatever business they had before the commotion took place. A number...
Something close to the Frateris militia kind of thing?
Yeah, kind of, but... So they are technically devotees. They are devoted to the God Emperor, but they are far more reasonable than the fanatics. You can have a conversation with the devotees. The fanatics are more, the Emperor! The Emperor! Beat the Emperor!
Emperor.
Yeah, kind of in that way.
I know you're trying to talk to me about my taxes. However, have you ever heard of the Emperor?
The Emperor!
There's a love triangle going on here. The priest wants me. I want the big woman. The big woman doesn't want fucking either of us.
That doesn't add up to a triangle.
I know, it's more of a straight line.
The hexagrammatic square.
So, yeah. As they move further outward, I will spark up the conversation with the residents. I will, one, give her a small curt bow. Two, I will simply ask, so, I must quickly ask here, as you seem to be that of more level-headedness. Are you of an order? Are you descendant of an order?
In some respects, yes. We are the descendants of this home world's original occupants. One moment, if you will, Heinrich. She moves over to Muttermouth, and in gutter tongue, or slurry speech, can't quite remember which one the Fetits use, she says something to him, and he looks kind of shocked, bemused, a little bit afraid, but then he nods and he moves back over to where Thomas is, and she comes back over to you. I will be frank, Heinrich. Your people, your emperor, whilst he is respected amongst the inhabitants of this place, he has also brought much pain and suffering to our people. She gestures to the graveyard, the larger one on this side. These are our fathers. They died fighting for the previous rogue trader. Those lives will never come back. And since we lost them, your ecclesiarchy has taken so much more. We are warriors of an ancient breed, and we respect your battle sisters. They are much like us, and they were much like our fallen fathers. If you stand with that pompous preacher, you had best be prepared.
Erasmus, you have no true idea of the Imperium, do you? You're localized entirely within this world, correct?
That is correct.
And you've seen the pompousness of the young preacher.
I was but a child. The former ecclesiarchal preacher, whatever his name was far more of a man. He convinced our people. He had a way with words and scripture. He connected our old world and our old beliefs with the new world and the emperor. It was his sororitas who changed our minds. They were warriors. They were worthy of respect. He is not.
I have a slight smile on my face, to be honest with you. And with a slight grin or a slight smile and just a slight shake of the head. Well then, I hope to be more akin to the previous preacher than I do this current ecclesiarch. You have much to learn, as do I, to a degree. The main thing I am looking for is assistance. I am not. Well, maybe I am Emperor sent. We will never truly know, as the Emperor's path is a grueling one. It is not as easy as the others we have seen here, and I am making pointed remarks at that. It is not as simple, nor does it bear as much fruit, but it is more sanctified. It is a purer path. I understand resentment and perhaps reluctance, but believe me now, I am a rogue trader. I have seen the stars, and I have seen how to talk to people. And with another grin, I may not always be myself, but I will always speak however I wish, however people think I should. I'm speaking quite candidly now, honestly, because I believe that there could be some arrangement now. But we must speak more later. For now, I wish to see what your ecclesiarch has in store, as well as, well, discuss the news.
Very well. She looks at the spider that pokes up upon your shoulder. Huh. Did you steal that, or did it bond with you?
You may ask it yourself.
They
I will make a quick motion to Cray so that if the spider skull does speak, he'll be able to project it with the Voxcaster.
they do not speak. As the Voxcaster comes on, and bonding was successful. This one is affirmed, my master.
Can I have it speak in binary?
You can't. It can speak in binary, but it was asked by its master that it can tell you. So it would be in Low Gothic, or technically High Gothic.
Are they speaking High Gothic or Low Gothic?
This is where it gets all very confusing. Technically,
if they're based on the Ecclesiarchy and the Sororitas, probably High Gothic, right?
It's essentially it's High Gothic, which would be their native tongue, because High Gothic is the Proto-Gothic that was used in ages past, as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
So but they do know Low Gothic from the Preacher and the Battle Sisters. So they do know technically they know 3 languages. Betits, Low Gothic, and High Gothic.
Okay.
Huh. Modifications must have been made. Was that you, Metal One?
I guess.
Another of your kind, I must imagine. We have long lost the technology to maintain such devices. Thanks partly to the ecclesiarchy. She says that with real disdain in her voice. Well then. You there. Your armor is not of our world, and your legs are wrong. Are you another unclean?
I'm just going to look to Heinrich and back home.
My primary concern and the buttering of words to you, to the ecclesiarch, stands in front of you. A friend. A rather good friend, but... well... a friend only because I have certain writs and rights that allow me to have them.
It is an unclean, then.
Not unclean, but different.
I do wash myself.
She
I'm gonna look
she
back
goes
at
to
my
her
ring.
sword. It is not twisted. We will not withstand them here. Are you from the south? She draws her sword. Speak now.
No.
I'm putting my hand on my spear. I'm putting I'm putting one hand on my spear, one hand on her arm. No. She is like me and not of this world. She is not like your preacher. She is not like me in other ways.
You swear it. She is not
I
a twisted
swear.
from the south.
No.
She puts her sword back slowly. Very well. Then I apologize. But I was told to show you hospitality, and you all look rather drained. Your vehicle, although she looks again at the vehicle, you have no promethium? Why is it drawn? Why is it drawn in such a way? The engine no longer functions?
No. Unfortunately not. A modification from other metal men that we accompanied at one point. A necessary modification that was needed as their own lack of promethium. It was a detriment.
Understood. We have long since put our reserves on critical.
We have some, and we know how to refine it with assistance. I will motion to Cray. Did you have heard of the Red Priests?
Yes, we know of them. The
Then I nod.
ecclesiarchy attempted to bring a number here, but they would not, and they disappeared. Our own mechanics would have been able to repair such a device long ago, but sadly, that knowledge is restricted. There may be a mechanic within the tower.
I'm gonna look a little bit confused when they keep saying mechanic and not finishing it with us. Until I probably remind myself Technomat is a job title technically. Their old speech is difficult to understand at times.
Your confusion is similar to the ecclesiarchs. They found it odd that we maintained our own equipment in the past.
Oh, I do not find it old. Just your titles are somewhat archaic.
We are archaic. She smiles, and you should enter and at least be offered refreshments.
Is that tea or ploying?
She turns and either. Either, not neither. Either.
Neither. Well, we do bring some ploying, just as a precaution. If you care to try some.
She looks at the offered item and perhaps once I'm at a table and am not in armor.
Oh, of course. No, I did not mean now. I'm probably holding a bottle, but I am putting it after a moment or two. I'm probably holding a bottle, but yes, I'll put it back. And yes, of course, not now. Later. Regardless, where did he say we were to stay, or where would you recommend?
I was going to take you to the tavern. If that is not acceptable, I can take you elsewhere.
With a big shit-eating grin, tavern is perfect. It has been too long.
I will take... you go over there. Oh no, the subtitles came out.
I will be right back.
God damn it, no! Okay. Hang on one moment. Of course, my cousin would ring me up and wants me to come over to my auntie's to do something. I don't know. Don't do that. Right. So, the tavern. I know you're all far too big to. One moment. Jim, did you use a soundboard?
Nope.
You sure?
Currently looking at draft pictures, buddy.
Hmm.
Here you go. Have
Who
one.
used the soundboard then? I had a knock-in. Okay. Right, well, unfortunately, I have actually been called away. I need to go and sort something out with my cousin. So, you have entered into a tavern. And unfortunately, that is where we will have to end it for the episode. As I need to go and resolve this fucking issue. So yes, you have... Oh, hang on. Move that. So, you have entered the tavern. Someone's using a soundboard, I swear. Who's doing it?
What?
Right, anyway, I'm ending the episode off there. Thank you. Like, Jim, I'm honest, dude. Stop fucking doing that.
It's not me, dude.
Whoever is doing it needs to stop. Because I've got family members who want me to move and who are saying they're outside and they want me to come out. I don't need to hear knocking. I'm ending the episode off there, guys. I've got to run. So thank you all so much for watching. I certainly hope you've enjoyed, and I do apologise for ending the show off a bit sooner than I'd like. Take care, everyone, and as always, bye-bye for now.
Bye.
See ya.